car that I picked up to replace the GTR. It's a 2016 Corvette Z06. I got a really good deal on the car. You know, it was one of those deals that, you know, I just really could not pass up. The car is fully loaded. It has everything except for the Z07 package, which honestly I wasn't really interested in anyway. So it not having that package was perfectly fine with me. It did come with the dual tops. This one is the transparent top, and then on the car it has the carbon fiber top, which I actually like better, the look of it, even though I mean they both just kind of look black, but the carbon fiber looks less glossy, I guess. I don't know, than the other top does, so I just preferred it. So that's the one I left on the car. That's the one the car had on it when I picked it up. So I think my favorite part of it is cooled seats. That to me is just almost priceless, because I end up having to run the air conditioning none. I have yet to have the air conditioner on in this car. Of course, I'm sure as summer rolls on in, that will change. Number one, why'd you get rid of the GTR? Number two, why didn't, you know, after you know the reason why I got rid of the GTR, your next question would be, well, why didn't you just get another GTR? Well, let me answer the first question right off the rip. The GTR, it actually drowned in my garage in Hurricane Matthew, so it wasn't by my own accord that I got rid of the GTR. But once it happened, and I started really looking at other cars and thinking about, you know, what on the GTR I really liked and what I didn't like. The car itself was a really awesome car, certainly very quick. But at the end of the day, you know, dual clutch is all you could get in it. There wasn't a manual available, which I perfectly understand why. The car would be slower with a manual, just as this car is slower with a manual. But for me, you know, 0 to 60 really, you know, not a big deal. I could kind of sort of care less, not 100% care less, but it just wasn't the big factor for me at the end of the day. I really got to thinking about, you know, with all the different cars I had, what in each one of them I liked or didn't like, and I kept coming back to the fact that I had a John Cooper Works Mini Cooper that I really enjoyed. It had a few little things done to it, but it really had a very pronounced and predominant supercharger whine. And granted, you know, the car was not you know, a super car by any stretch of the imagination, nor was it really even, you know, all that fast of a car. It was a okay kind of around town pocket rocket, if you will. It did great on that, and I did take a couple of long trips in it, and it did all right there too. But I guess basically what I'm getting at is the supercharger whine is what really did it for me with that car. That's what made me really enjoy it. And then I was like, well, you know, what was it I really liked about the GTR? Well, you know, I really liked about the GTR the kind of unique look of it. Had a very edgy look to it, and I liked the interior on the car, which, you know, it was all a special order interior on the car and everything. You know, upgraded interior package in it and all that. So, you know, I liked that, but then it was like, okay, what did I not like about it? And what I really didn't like about it is you really couldn't hear the turbos when they kicked in on it. You know, you could slightly barely hear it, but you couldn't hear much of it. You know, it was really, you know, really kind of muffled, almost as if they were purposely trying to you know, neuter the car, if you will, or whatever. So it was like, all right, you know, I think I'm more of a supercharger guy. I think I like the sound of it. So I started kind of looking at cars that had superchargers. And, you know, of course, immediately out of the gate, I run into the Hellcat. And I went and looked at one. But it just really wasn't for me. It just felt like such a big car, you know, even though it may really not be, but I know they are very heavy. But, you know, when I sat inside of the car, it just felt like a big car, which just really, really was not for me. So it was like, all right, you know, what else? And honestly, I didn't even look at the Corvette because I didn't realize I had not been paying them any attention for several years. I honestly just didn't think that they would be supercharged from the factory, and so I wasn't paying them any attention at all. And I just happened to stumble upon a video, and the guy was talking about it being supercharged. And at first I thought, well, you know, he's probably taken his and had it modified and, you know, this and that done to it and whatever else. But no, it was all stock, and that's how it came. And then I was like, okay, let me go take a look at this. And that's kind of what sold me on it. Is it was like, okay, I've had 8, 9, 10 Corvettes. You know, now they're supercharging them from the factory. Yeah, you know, it'll probably fit the bill. So it was like, yeah, I really want a white one. I wanted a white Z06 back in 2002. But any of you Corvette guys know that was no longer an option. They stopped making white in 2001. They dropped it in 2002. So I ended up with a EB Blue Z06 in 2002. You know, and life goes on, and, you know, multiple other Corvettes come and go and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, and then finally I decided, well, you know, I'm going to do something different. And that's when I ended up purchasing a Buick Grand National, which unfortunately it drowned as well, right beside of the GTR, and purchased it and redid it. And it was a very, very fast car. At this point, this is the replacement. This is what I ended up with.